As we heard proclaimed in today's gospel, two men went to the temple to pray, and they could not be more different from one another. One is a Pharisee, and he thanks God that he is not like all the sinful people he sees around him, including that other man. He tells God that he fasts twice a week. He tells God that he gives tithes. Indeed, he is very different from the other man. We may presume the other man, who is a tax collector, does not do these things. He does not fast twice a week. He does not give tithes with the same regularity, if at all, as the other man. Indeed, they are as different as two men can be. The other man does not even look up, and he just says, beating his breast, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." And then we heard from Jesus that in yet another very important way, these two men are indeed very different from one another, because it was the tax collector who went home forgiven by God. If we look back on this parable, it's evident why the Pharisee did not go home forgiven. He didn't even ask for it. And his sin is that he doesn't believe he even needs it. But in the honesty of his brokenness, the tax collector just merely cries out to God, "Have mercy on me." It's all he can do. And he goes home forgiven. And so Holy Church this week commends us to not be like that first man. Eat meat on Wednesday and Friday this week, because the man who proclaimed he fasts twice a week did not go home justified because of it. Most importantly, Holy Church commends us to not just be dissimilar from that Pharisee, but to be like that tax collector. Just simply in our heart to acknowledge our faults and ask forgiveness of God. But Holy Church has one more wonderful gift to give us. Jesus delegated to the apostles the forgiveness of sins. In the Gospel of John, after the resurrection, he blew on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive men's sins, they are forgiven. If you retain men's sins, they are retained." We do not need to merely pray out to God as if he were invisible and we may not know what his answer to us is for forgiveness. We get to hear it spoken from the priest, who by virtue of his ordination as a priest has the fullness of the apostolic ministry. So when, like the tax collector, you bow your head before the Bible and the cross, and you humbly ask God, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner," you will hear God's voice spoken through our priest. You will hear the assurance of your absolution. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.